Christopher Douglas Rooney, born December 15th, 1969. Today's feature is a rapper that had everything laid out in front of him at just 19 years old. Besides the obvious like four-finger rings, gold necklaces, vintage watches, and the latest fashion, he had opportunity. It's one of the most special words in language, period, because it means everything to every single person that's ever walked the earth. The difference in the ones that, quote, make it and the ones who don't can simply be a chance to have whatever you bring to the table displayed on a bigger stage. Cool C, no matter how you look at his outcome, is a pioneer of at least Philadelphia hip-hop, and in some ways hip-hop in general, as a part of the Hilltop Hustlers who wanted to give opportunity to Philly rappers often overshadowed by the bright lights New York has had on them literally since the conception of rap music. New York has always dominated East Coast opportunity, and guys like Cool C, Jazzy Jeff, Steady B, The Fresh Prince aka Will Smith, and Lawrence Goodman had a plan to change that. Goodman aka LG actually signed some of hip-hop's foundation to his record label back in the day, like MC Shan, Roxanne Shante, and others, giving him a hand and say on what East Coast hip-hop meant to the culture. Cool C was the fresh face for Hilltop that came out the gate throwing darts at New York rappers to Juice Crew on his debut single, Juice Crew Diss, that gave him the initial opportunity to have a voice in hip-hop as a Philly rapper. He then released his radio debut, Glamorous Life, that peaked at number 11 on the rap charts and drove anticipation for his debut album even further. Another single, I Got a Habit, was released, putting Cool C quickly in position to sign with the major label Atlantic Records that put his rap career on the fast track to hip-hop celebrity. Around that time, Cool C was being looked at as a major pillar in the foundation of Philly hip-hop, and many expected him to become a great representative of that, with enough style and personality to be much more. But things didn't go as expected, leading to a rap career that wasn't moving like many thought, especially Cool C himself. Being a hustler, naturally you always look for the best opportunity to make the most money. Rap was seen as the best legal avenue for street guys to gain fortune and fame at the same time, but rap obviously wasn't doing enough, leading Cool C at just 26-27 years old to make a grave life decision that landed him not just in prison, but on death row for killing a female officer trying to impede their bank heist. He's currently still on death row after having a few stay of executions in 2006 and 2014. Life was glamorous until opportunity to be the rapper he thought he could didn't move fast enough, and it took one of hip-hop's pioneers away for good. What happened? Let's talk about it. Salute to Smiley Jarrell 84 for this request. It's your boy JC, StuntedGrowthMusic. Let's get it, man. Take a minute to like, subscribe, and comment on who I should do next. Cool C was a rapper from the 80s and early 90s from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the Hilltop neighborhood to be exact, that first got into rap listening to groups like the Sugar Hill Gang and Grandmaster Flash. He says he memorized all their rhymes and would walk around reciting them to perfection. That's until he decided, why sing theirs when I can just write my own? He released a few songs that reached the radar of Hilltop Hustler leader Lawrence Goodman, who added him to the collective and pushed him among a few others that were supposed to carry on the name. Cool C was representing right on his first few singles and turned up for the gang with his Juice Crew diss, as well as being able to sign with Atlantic Records. With the start he got, he could have been just as big as Will Smith. Of course, the Fresh Prince and Cool C went in completely opposite directions, one becoming a pop culture and entertainment icon, and the other sleeps every night waiting for his time on death row to expire one way or the other. Stunt number 1, wanting it all too fast. Looking at the journey of Cool C, the rapper, and the man shows that he made decisions based on getting to where he wanted to go much too fast and didn't always think things through. He wanted to be rich and he wanted it now. His first display of this was him giving up his solo career just 2 years after his debut album release to join a group of his two friends, Ultimate Ease and Steady B. Atlantic Records saw a lot in Kool C, just like pretty much everyone else did. His rhymes, looking back at it, don't come off as the most intricate or complex, and he wasn't necessarily a lyricist, but what he was, more than anything, was a personality, just in the music form. He helped pioneer braggadocious rap of the East Coast, as everything was as fly and flashy as could be. Rings on each finger, huge rope chains, the latest fashion, and of course, vehicles way out of budget, with all the trinkets attached to it, allowing everyone in the neighborhood to bear witness to the glamorous life. Kool C had a major deal, but his debut album, along with the follow-up, didn't sell like expected, and because of him being signed to so many places and having to split money so many ways between labels, money in rap wasn't paying the bills and allowing him to increase his lavish lifestyle. After just 2 years and 2 albums under Atlantic that both charted in the top 100, he decided to discontinue the building of his solo career to join a group called CEB, and that was a mistake. For obvious reasons, like splitting the money 3 ways instead of 1 didn't make sense, especially when money coming in was already an issue anyway. Counting Endless Bank, CEB released 1 album on Rough House Records that disappointed sales-wise, in part because Ultimate Ease experienced poorly timed legal trouble and couldn't promote the album on tour with the group. Before they even finished the tour, CEB was dropped from the label. Stunt number 2, landing on death row. I just want to get this right out the way because other than stunt number 1, Kool C had no other growth stunts that affected his time in music, mainly because he didn't have time to. Just 6 years after the release of his debut album, he, Steady B, and a local Philly rapper and lunchroom worker, Mark Canty, attempted to rob a PNC bank in Fentonville, North Philly, January 2nd, 1996. Dressed in construction worker outfits, the trio waited for the bank to open in a stolen minivan just outside. 15 minutes after it did, they stormed the bank, armed with automatic weapons. Like a scene in a movie, they must have been high while watching and thinking it was possible. They made workers get down on the ground while they screamed in demand for the money, but would receive none as they soon realized a silent alarm was pushed that alerted the local police. Scattering to get out now, they ran into a police officer in the area while the bank robbery is taking place and actually entering the bank as the men attempted to flee, Kool C leading the way. Officer Loretta Vard, a 9-year veteran of the PPD, was now in the line of fire and an obstacle in the way of the rapper's getaway. Kool C was convicted of shooting and killing Officer Vard in the chest and liver, piercing her bulletproof vest. She didn't have the protective inserts in that day. She lay there dying as Kool C and Steady B got away, leaving Mark Canty and 2 guns behind, later used to link them to the murder. Days and weeks later, all 3 were in custody, either captured or turning themselves in. While in police custody, Steady B confessed to the crime and he told on his co-defendants as well. Kool C, who had a made-up alibi provided by his mother, was cooked. He received a death sentence, while Steady B and Mark Canty got life sentences for manslaughter for being involved in the botched robbery. Kool C became a forgotten rapper outside of Philly, escaping death by 2 stays of execution he's twice been able to receive, but no question is his story one of the biggest stunted growths of all time. Wasn't even stunted, it was finished and wiped from history beyond those in Philly who understand his initial importance. All in all, Kool C had the same chance Will Smith had, but his greed and lack of patience, knowledge, and correct hustle led him to death row. Salute, much respect, rest in peace to Officer Vard. It's your boy JC StuntedGrowthMusic, and I'm out.